And to further break down what's at stake for the state trial is well-known Memphis defense attorney Art Horne. Art, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
A friend to the show, for sure. So opening statements today, prosecutors say they're fighting to show that Tyre was a victim of excessive force. Defense is saying that that Nichols resisted arrest and officers were just doing what they were trained to do. So what is the strategy here? How does the defense overcome what we know we've seen in the videos?
Well, I mean, again, everybody has seen the video. It's traumatic and it's hard to watch. But once you get past the video, I think the jurors are going to have to look at all the facts in the case. And I think the three individuals that are on trial this week are probably the least culpable out of the five officers. And so you're going to hear about none of them having a record. You're going to hear about them being great guys. You're going to hear a lot of positive things about these officers because they have no real criminal history. And so the other thing that you're going to see is that Tadarius Bean, he wasn't involved in the first traffic stop. He was involved in the second traffic stop. And their position is going to be that Tyre resisted. And you'll also see that the other two officers had more minor roles in the beating of Tyre Nichols. And I think those are things that are going to come into play in this trial.
Which is a good segue to the next question, just from your perspective. Which of the three have the hardest fight and which one has the easiest fight?
Well, I don't know if it's a easier. I think they all have a hard fight because, again, you have the video, but and second-degree murder is a very serious offense. It carries 15 to 25 years at 100% in the state of Tennessee. Again, the best evidence for the government is that video. But and one of the things that you and I talked about earlier is that we like to remember people in their best light when they pass away. And I think the jury's going to hear some things about Tyre Nichols and about that stop that night, about drugs being involved and possibly some stolen IDs or identification. And they're going to hear some things that you know, we may not have heard in the media or may not shed the best light on Mr. Nichols. So I think those things all are going to play into this trial, and they're going to help the defense in defending their clients.
Now, we heard Lauren say that there were already some parallels to the federal trial, which is not what the defense wanted. The federal charges were more around deprivation of rights and obstruction. Like you said, state charges, second-degree murder, kidnapping, aggravated assault, misconduct, oppression. Seems more serious. Just how do the two play into each other, or do they play into each other?
Well, I think the defense teams of all three of the individuals at trial this week have already been through this. They have very competent and solid counsel, and I think it's helpful from a defense standpoint when you've already sort of been through a trial situation, which they all have. And I think they have gotten to see what works and doesn't work. And I think this week you're going to see a good trial on both sides. And I think, again, you're going to see the defense paint their clients in the best light, and you're going to see them paint a picture of what they believe truly happened, which was they were involved in the incident later and had no idea what happened earlier in the evening with Mr. Nichols.
Fair point. And we already heard from Rovon Wells, the mother of Tyre Nichols. Emmett Martin and Desmond Mills, who already pleaded guilty, will testify as well. How much do those testimonies play into here?
Well, again, it's tragic what happened to Tyre Nichols. We all know that. We've all seen the video. To see somebody's mother get up on the stand and testify about losing the life of her son, those are all difficult issues. But at the end of the day, the jury's going to have to deal with the facts of the case, the law that's provided by the judge, and use their common sense on what happened that night and what these officers' involvement was or non-involvement.
And last question now, the defense did get a small win pre-trial with getting a jury from out of the city. So coming from the Chattanooga area, how much would you, just feel about that as a defense attorney?
It's kind of, typically in Memphis, Memphis is primarily African American, and you get a good mix of jurors, black, white, male, female. Chattanooga, I believe, is maybe 28% African American, and maybe a little more conservative. I've only tried one case in Chattanooga, but I think that may play into the hands of the defense, because conservative juries like police officers, and these officers don't have any other record except for what, you know, potentially could come out of this trial.
Okay. Always good insight. Thank you so much, Attorney Horne, for being here.
Good to see you.
All right.